Today, 9th July 2025, marked the launch of the National Creation Care Framework and Preaching Guide, the launch born out of the collaboration between World Vision Ghana, Arocha Ghana, the Church of Pentecost, Challenge Enterprises of Ghana, and Akrofi Christola Institute of Theology, Mission and Culture took place at the end of a three-day conference pioneering the advocacy for national discourse and action on creation care. Interim National Director at World Vision Ghana, John Claude Mukadi, in his welcome address, asserted that the launch was based on three interconnected pillars.
This conference and launch invite us to reflect theologically and practically on how our ministries, liturgies, and social engagements can embody this holistic mission. The third pillar, ESCA action and advocacy. Climate change and environmental degradation are not just scientific or political issues. They are deeply spiritual and moral concerns. The framework offers tools for prophetic engagement, equipping us to confront systems of injustice, influence policies, and promote resilient and sustainable communities, especially for the poor, women, children, and future generations.
Speaking on the importance of incorporating the Creation Care Framework into churches' organizational structures, the Faith and Development Manager for World Vision Ghana, Reverend Benjamin Saba, stated that it is of essence to be employed
awareness in our various churches on issues of environmental stewardship, because it's more like there is a gap in our gospel. That is to say that it's not covering the issues that we are encountering with regards to our environment, in a sense that sometimes we feel that issues of the environment is unspiritual. So through this conference, we've come to a realization that we have sinned, because that was our first mandate as Christians in the Garden of Eden, and we are not keeping the land very well, we are not keeping creation very well. So we've learned that we have all sinned and we need to ask for forgiveness from God, because that was our first mandate. So this conference is actually, through the framework, is actually helping us to create awareness in our various churches when it comes to issues of environmental stewardship. Secondly, the framework is also helping us to understand the activities that we can do to ensure that our environment is well kept. Then there is also an element where we would have to partner with the media houses to just push the agenda of creation care. Then there is also an agenda to ensure that there is enough funding for creation care in our churches, because we've also identified a gap in the sense that sometimes when we are allocating budgets at end of year or at the beginning of the year, we don't even consider creation care. Meanwhile, it is an issue that...
PEMEM Director of the Church of Pentecost and keynote speaker for the event, Apostle Vincent Ananidente, shared that the restoration of the environment is a missional responsibility.
So if we delink the God factor from it, and they go raw in the secular, from the perspective of the secular humanist, then that is where people see the environment that, oh, this one is just there for us to exploit for our advantage. But that is not it. It is God's creation. And for that matter, God will hold us accountable of how we use the environment, how we do our stewardship towards the environment. So as long as we see it as God's creation, then we have a missional responsibility to ensure that the environment is restored. And then I also have to establish eco-forests. We need to have a zone. Much as we are restoring the one that is already there, then we also have to acquire lands that we too will use those lands as demonstration centers for other people to see how best we will be able to build our own eco-friendly forest zones.
The 56-page document was well received by all ecumenical bodies and is set to be utilized nationwide. The event saw several institutions, denominations and professional groups in participation.